Well, good evening. It's good to be here, or I guess sort of. um, I'm definitely out of my comfort zone up here. I don't like talking in front of people, especially not if it's personal, but I guess that's fine. So before we start, let's bow our heads for prayer. Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for your blessings for us, and thank you for this church. And just be with us tonight. Just be with me as I share. Just help me to open up and help me to be calm as I share. Just praise your name. Amen. So, to start off, I was born in Mount Hope, Ohio in 1998. I'm the middle child. I have four sisters that are older than me, and um, two brothers, and two sisters younger than me. I don't remember a lot of Ohio. We moved in 2006. Just a few memories that I have is we lived a couple miles from the Mount Hope Sale Barn. There are a couple of memories I have is um, going with Grandpa to the sale barn pretty often. He'd take us, me and Nate, on. Um, he'd take his bike and we'd sit in the back of the bike cart. I'm not sure how he'd pull us all the way there, but he did it pretty often. Um, I enjoy that a lot. I'm not sure if he did, but I remember one time he was getting annoyed at us. There was a donut stand there, and we kept begging and begging for donuts. And I, I think he was getting grumpy by the end of that day. But another story I remember pretty good is when I got my first BB gun. Um, I wanted a BB gun really bad, and I think it was before I was in school. Yeah, I might have been in kindergarten. I'm not sure. But we were at a um, homesteading get together, and they had this pan with a little grease piggy in there, and they put a bunch of us boys in there, and whoever caught him and held him for 3 seconds got a BB gun. So I remember I was pretty desperate to catch that piggy, and he slipped through one of my friend's hands, and I caught him next, and I held him for, I'm pretty sure it was longer than 3 seconds, but I made sure I had him. But yeah, I remember I was pretty excited on the way home. I made sure the BB gun stayed right next to me. But I think, not sure how soon after that I got in trouble and the BB gun got put away. So I think somehow I found the BB gun, but I couldn't find BBs. And me and Nate were down behind the barn, and I found this little rock, this little pebble, and just fit in the barrel. So I put it in there and got this idea that got him to put the hand in front of the barrel. Told him there's no BBs in it, and I pulled the trigger, and it went in his skin a little bit. So I don't remember how long it went away from then, but it was a pretty long time before I had a BB gun. Um, so yeah, there's more I remember faintly from then, but um, we moved when I was 7 up to uh, Greenville to start Greenville Church, um, to the place Dad lives now. I think if I remember right, we were the first ones to move um, there. That was a pretty big change for me, but it was exciting. Had a big place to explore, and I enjoyed that. One story I remember pretty clear is when Actually, I was terrified of little dogs when I was still living in Ohio. So mom and dad got me a little puppy. I named him Tiptoe because it sounded like he was tiptoeing through the house. So I thought that would be a good name. But when we moved up, not long after we moved up, we were going down the road, and I'm not sure. I think me and Missy and Nate were in the back of the trailer, and Tiptoe was back there, and it was after dark, and the moon was out, and we saw a fox out in the field, and before I could catch him, he jumped off the trailer and ran right in the front of the trailer tires, and it hit him. We both saw him laying there, and in the moonlight saw he wasn't moving, but we both were too scared to say anything. We were just hoping and praying that he would somehow just get up and come home, because our puppy can't die. But we were home for a while, and then I think one of us said something that we should maybe go back and look for Tiptoe, and remember going back there, and we both. That was probably the hardest I've cried when I was a little kid, but um, yeah, it was a pretty sad day for me. Um, Another story was when we moved up to PA. We had heard stories that there were bears in the area, and so we wanted to see a bear. But the one day, I mean, I'm not sure why it was Missy again, but I think she got me in all the trouble. No, I don't know. We were back in the woods playing. We played a lot of teepee, put a lot of teepees and tents up, and played like we were Indians. And all of a sudden, we saw this little brown animal running up a tree, and we were like, "Oh, that's a baby bear." You know? So I wanted to catch the baby bear for a pet. We had the little hand stapler, the little Tyvek, you use them for Tyvek. So I gave Missy the little stapler and told him to guard in the bottom of the tree in case the mama bear comes back, to shoot him in the eyes. So I went back home and got my slingshot to shoot him down. I think when I got home, I got laughed at pretty hard, because I don't remember shooting the groundhog down then. But I just discovered that we had black bears, not brown bears, and it probably would have been pretty bad if it would have been a baby brown bear. Um, so the first few years that we were in Greenville, we didn't have our own school yet, so some of us went to the Kinsman Amish school there. That was, forget how many years that was. I think it was only 1 or 2 years. Had good memories there. I don't remember a whole lot. But then after that, we started our own school in Dad's rental house, which would be Andrew's house now. In the basement of that house was our schoolhouse for a few years, and then we moved to another trailer until we had our church house built. School years were pretty good for me for the most part, if I wanted them to be, I guess. Lower grade went pretty good, but then upper grade, I think the teacher thought I was naughty for a few years, but I got expelled one day at school. We had a substitute teacher, and we made fun of her and were pretty mean. And I think most of the upper grade boys got expelled for a few days. Yeah, it was a good lesson for me, and it was definitely, I did feel bad that the way that we acted. Another story while I was in school was my teacher got me and one of my friends to go burn the trash, which I thought was okay because got out of the schoolhouse until she came out to talk to us about something we had done. And she was talking to me, and like I often do when I'm nervous, especially when a teacher is chewing me out, then I kind of get Twitter-pated and I have to do something with my hands. And I didn't realize what I was doing, but I reached over and grabbed the fence beside me. And it was a pretty high voltage shocking fence, and I almost sat down right there. Yeah, I think the teacher kind of got a kick out of that. But, another story I remember pretty clearly is um, with me and Nate. We always were into something and making new stuff. And one day we got a bright idea to make this cannon. Or I think one of my uncles had made a big cannon, and we decided we're going to try it with a smaller version. We made this pipe about this long and screwed an end cap on it. I think it was a cast iron end cap. And we had found little nuggets, punch out nuggets of metal that fit perfectly in the barrel. And Dad had told us that we're not under any circumstance supposed to shoot that thing. But I guess we didn't obey once again and went down the gun cabinet and found a little pouch of gunpowder. So I dumped that thing. I think it was a full load of muzzleloader shot, and we had drilled a hole on the side of the barrel or the pipe, and I had dumped the gunpowder in there, and I was going to use that metal chunk to fire it, but I decided I'm just going to stick an earplug in there for now. I should have put it on my ears, but and I think he was holding the pipe, and I held the torch on the end of on that little hole, and it didn't fire for a while, and we had almost given up, and then all of a sudden it fired, and the whole greenhouse was filled with smoke. And Dad, I'm not sure if he came running or not, but he heard it, and it was the end of the cannon story from them. Which I don't think he had to tell us to not do that again ever. When I think I was about 14 when I first began thinking about becoming a Christian and what um, what would happen after I died. And it was around that time that I had a dream. I woke up and I dreamed that I had died and that I was going to hell, and I was terrifying. And I remember I couldn't sleep until after I prayed and asked God to forgive me, and um, that was a pretty scary night for me. But yeah, it was for a long time. I didn't really comprehend how God could just forgive my sins, and I was still scared that somehow God wouldn't forgive me. But it took a while for me to realize that he he for, he would forgive my sins if I would just pray and ask for forgiveness and accept him as my savior. Um, I was at 14, but at that point um, I wasn't really attracted to becoming a member of the Amish church, but um, So I wasn't sure what I'm going to do at that point. But later, at I think it was 17 or 18 when I got baptized in the Amish church there, and I was for a year or so I was pretty sincere, and but I didn't have a relationship with God, and kind of let things get in the way of my relationship with God, and kind of slack. And I guess I didn't really have my personal devotions with Him. Didn't really um, I I thought if I just go to church there and just um, do that, then I wouldn't have to do anything else. But I was trying to get from the church what I can get from God, and I was disappointed that I felt distant, and I I guess I got more and more rebellious towards the church there and the people, the ministers, and I knew I wasn't right with God there, and I was terrified once again of dying, and the thought of it. And about that time, one of my close friends moved out of the church, and um, around that time, I think it was too, when I decided to get my first phone. I Not sure how much of this I should say, but I think my parents were gone, so I biked down to the Dollar General and quick run in and found a phone, and was checking out, and went home and opened the phone, and not sure if it was God punishing me or what it was, but it was bright pink. So I remember feeling guilty about having that, and knowing that from being a member there that I wasn't supposed to have that, and a lot of my friends had them too, and the one, I guess, got found out, and they got into it and saw all our conversations, and we got found out, I guess, and me and another friend got excommunicated from the church, and at that point, I didn't really care about how my relationship was with the church. I was pretty bitter and had a lot of hate in my life then. Um, I definitely regret some of the things that I did at that time. I know I don't agree how everything was handled, but I didn't respond the way I should have too. But I think it was, I forget how long it was, but I got back on proving in the church there, and but I told the ministers there that I'm not really planning on staying there for a long term. I was planning on leaving the church when I was about 20, and at that time um, we were going through some stuff, and our family just decided to go together as a family, and I'm glad that we did, because I'm not sure where I would have went and where I'd be today if I wouldn't have if I would have went by myself, because I don't think I was in a right stage to go off by myself at that point. Yeah, that's when in 2020 was when we started attending Living Hope. That was a good change for me, but a hard change. I was um, not really outgoing. I'm still not really outgoing, but it was. I didn't really know a lot of the youth, so it was to make all new friends and everything was a little tougher for me. But it really one of the better moves that I've made in my life. Not long after that, I struggled with a lot of depression, especially during the winter. I struggled with addictions for a while that I thought that I wasn't going to be able to um, overcome, and I had given up hope, and I thought that I'm always just going to struggle in that. And I remember when one night when I completely just gave up, and um, I guess I was broken and was the end of the ropes, and I just remember saying that God, I can't do this anymore, and that's when He said, yeah, I know you can't do this by yourself, but um, with God, all things are possible. So I guess after that, I got a new perspective of things that I'm not as strong on myself that I think I am. That I need Him through everything, and I need to look Him for help and power. That He's the only source of power that I can get to overcome these things. Um, yeah, I'm really thankful for that. I remember for a while there when I was depressed that I was praying that um, God would just help me to become right with Him and just to not wake up again. I was tired of struggling, and um, I didn't want to keep struggling like that. But I'm thankful that He helped me through my struggles and helped me overcome and to have victory. Um, Soon after that, um, we, us guys at the church, did the Valiant Men course, and that was one of the um, biggest helps in my life to really get a jump start and to reach out to other men, other people that were struggling, and to um, yeah, that to um, get help and to um, draw closer to God. That was when I really first became stronger in my Christian life. And after that, I really enjoyed my single years. I enjoyed traveling and hunting, and I'd planned to go to Greece in the winter of 22, but I started to notice Deanna more, and I prayed about it and decided that I should talk to Ethan about it, and then she had said that she'd wait, rather wait for half a year, which I understood. She had just turned 18 at that point, and so I had wanted to go to service sometime before I start dating. So I talked to the I-58 people, and they had said, or he told me that yeah, they're looking for someone actually they're starting a new mission in Germany, and that they have a group together, but they need some more people, and that they're leaving in a month. And that was kind of sooner than I had expected, but I thought it sounded like it's something I want to do, and I'd be gone for 3 months. So I was pretty excited about that. I decided going into that, and I left in April, and was there until June, and came back 1st of July. But that was a really, really good experience for me as well. I'm glad I did something like that, and had a lot of good memories there, and um, God was good to me there as well and helped me grow in my life there. But yeah, when I came back 1st of July, we had our first date July 23rd then, and got engaged March 18th, and then got married August 4th. It was a good year of dating. I mean, we had struggles and everything, but everything was not perfect, but and then yeah, a little under 2 years later, we had baby Archer, which was a life-changing thing for me as well, and I'm very thankful and grateful to be having part of my life, and to have that new responsibility. So that's more or less all I have for tonight. Just I guess just looking back, I don't want to put the church that I came from under and saying that they were bad for me, but I think it was more me that I guess I didn't have a relationship with God like I should have, and yeah, so that's probably all I have for tonight. So let's bow our head for prayer. Lord, thank you for this evening. Thank you for this your blessings that you give us. Thank you for your love for us and for dying on the cross for us. Help us to look to you for guidance and direction. Just help us to be faithful to you and serving you. Just be with us for the remainder of the night. Just praise your name. Amen.